Hey guys, welcome back to Fight Creek Digital. This is Joni, and in today's video we are going to be making this cute little pre-K design you see here. Alright, let's get started. First off, I'm going to move this to over here so we can go back to it to reference. I'm going to delete this that I got on here. It's making my computer slow. Alright, let's get it out of there. Alright, now we're going to use this for reference. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to start off by setting our document properties. So you go up here to your document properties tool, which you can also find it in File and Document Properties. Okay, we'll change it to US letter. I always like to turn this off. This makes your page border always on top, which would actually, it'll make it on top of your design, and I don't like to have that there, so let's turn that off. Okay, we'll close this out. We're going to zoom in by hitting the plus key on our keyboard. Alright, we're going to go over here to the Create and Edit Text Objects. Okay, and then we're just going to click on this on the canvas where you want your letter to be. We're going to do the uppercase P. Okay, I'm going to go back up here to your selector tool, or this little arrow, and that's going to give us our sizing arrows so we can size this to what we want. I'm just going to make it big right now so we can see it, and we're going to choose a font. I think I used My Love, yes. Okay, so I choose My Love for the font. We're going to go down here to Apply. And then we're going to resize it again to the size we want. I like it to be a little bit longer, maybe just a tad wider. Okay. Now we're going to duplicate this. And I'll show you why later on. Okay, and now with this P, we are going to fill it with a background. I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Import. And let's see. Go to my backgrounds, and I'm going to find this background here. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit so we can see what we're doing. Okay, now we have our background in. I'm going to send it to the back. Resize it to fit our letter to make sure it grabs everything. Okay, and now we're going to select your background and your letter. You can select both items by holding Shift. So if you hold Shift and click that item, it's going to unclick it, and if you hold Shift and click it again, it will click it back. So you're going to have both of these items selected. Okay, and we're going to right click. We're going to go down here to Set Clip. Okay, now it's got that background inside of your P. Alright, so now for this one, this is going to be our lines on the outside, and we'll show you a quick little trick. Instead of having to draw your lines, I just take this P, this letter P, and I'm going to go over here to our Fill and Stroke. It should be up here in your toolbox. If not, again, it's up here at the top. And we're going to click on that, and we're going to see where it says Fill, Stroke Paint, and Stroke Style. We're going to go here to Fill, and we're going to hit this X right here for No Paint. Okay, now if it disappears, it's fine. It's just because you don't have your stroke on. So go over here to your stroke, and we're going to pick Flat Color. Okay, we're going to go over here to Stroke Style. Now, your stroke may not be as thick as mine, so you want to raise it up to about 3.324 or anywhere in that range, or you can make it as thick as you want. It's all up to you. I have it on millimeters, so if you want to keep it on that, you'll have it exactly like mine. Okay. Now I'm going to change the style of my stroke. I'm going to go up here to dashes. I'm going to choose this one right here. And that's going to give me those broke up little lines. Okay. And now we're going to take that. We're just going to throw it over our letter P, and you can readjust it if you want to, if you want it to look a little different, be in a different area, but I kind of like it like that. I think this one I made it a little bit bigger, the background, to be poking out some behind the stroke. So let's do that. Let's make it just a tad bigger. Just so it's sticking out a little bit. I think that's how I kind of trying to get it somewhat close to how I had it. It don't have to be perfect, but okay. Now, let's see. Now we have that. Let's back up some. Let's group this all together. That way it doesn't get messed up when we're moving everything else around. Okay, next we're going to do the pre-K part. Okay, so we're going to go back. We're going to go back to our edit text tool again. Just click on the screen. We got to click off of our P. See how it went straight into that one? You don't want to do that because you want your own separate little letter here. So I think I did an uppercase P and then the rest all lowercase. Okay, we could go ahead and maybe resize it just so we can see it better. Make sure you hold down Control when you're grabbing these arrows and resizing it so you keep your ratios right. Okay, and let's go back to the text and font tool. Go back to my love. I think that's what I used. Okay, my K is a little different. Hold on a minute. I don't know if you noticed that. I'll show you. I actually did an uppercase K, not the lowercase. Which it looks cute, the lowercase too, but let's just adjust that. And you can basically double click on your letters within this text to adjust anything. So we're going to take that out. We're going to put in the uppercase K. Alright, now we're going to go back to my love. Okay, there we go. Alright, so now that we have that, we hit apply. We're going to go back up here to our selector tool. And we're just going to hold the control and zoom it. Not zoom it, but, you know, make it larger. Let's see how we had this other one. I think that's about right. We had it here. We had it turn. Okay. Let's zoom back in. Now to get your rotating arrows. If you can see it, let's zoom in. Alright, you click once and you're going to have your standard arrows that zooms it out and in. And if you click again, you're going to have your rotating arrows. What you're going to do is grab these arrows to move it around, and make sure you hold your control key down to keep your ratios right. If you don't, it'll get a little crazy on you. Alright, so now that we got that, I'm going to duplicate this one. Alright, because this is going to be our black background in a minute. First, we're going to add a gradient to this. Okay, so we're going to go over here to your Create and Edit Gradients tool. And we're just going to double click on our word. Okay. We're going to go over here to our Fill and Stroke tool. Now just remember now, if you go here and it doesn't look like mine, remember you have these tabs up here, so you're going to have to possibly move it over. It just depends on where you are in this box. So don't, you know, get aggravated when it's not the same screen, just make sure you got the right tab click. I'm going to go to the Fill tab. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in so you can see. There's these little boxes, and over here it's a circle. Okay, we're going to grab these little boxes because this is what's going to change our colors. Okay, so let's zoom out for a minute because I'm going to grab one of the colors from the background that we used for the letter P. So we're going to go over here to our eyedropper, and we're going to pick this pink, probably this one. Alright, once you pick it, it's going to make your gradient the color that you choose. Okay, now you're going to have to get out of this eyedropper to be able to click on your next end of your gradient to change the color. So now to adjust the other end of your gradient, you're going to go back to your gradient, create and edit gradients, so you can click on this other end where you can change the colors of this. So go back to your eyedropper, pick another color from your design that you would like for it to be. You can change it now, it doesn't have to be like mine. You can do any colors you want. I like to choose colors from within the background to get everything to be cohesive and match. So here, you just pick the color that you would like again, and make sure your opacity is up. Sometimes the opacity can go down when you're working in your gradients because it's going to start from a higher opacity down to a very low opacity. So just keep an eye on that. But it actually corrected when it did it this time, so we're good to go now. I like that. And so we're going to go back up here to your selector tool, and we're going to zoom out. On yours, you may have to make sure this is clicked on where it says move gradients and filter stroke along with the object, because if you don't, your gradient will change if you move your design. Sometimes that's an easy way to change your gradient, but if you like where it's at, you want to make sure this is turned on. See how that's off? This is clicked on. Okay. Now, we are going to make the black background like you see on this one here. Okay, and we're going to do that by going to the path effects and using an offset. But first we have to take our copy that we made, and we need to go up here to path and go to object to path. Okay, and there's multiple ways of getting to this screen that I'm fixing to get to. It is the path effects. If you have it in your toolbox, you can go to it here. If it doesn't show up in here, you can go back to your paths, and it's going to be right here where it says path effects. Okay, and you're just going to click on it, and this is going to pop up over here, and you're going to have to hit this plus sign, add path effect, and then you're going to see all these effects that you can do within Inkscape. I haven't even tried a lot of these. So today we're just going to do the offset. So let's go over here to offset and choose that. Don't mess with any of these, leave it alone. You got it on millimeters. I'm going to set my offset to 2. That's pretty much what I use a lot of the time for my offset. That seems to be the best one for the looks that I'm going for. Okay, so once you do that, you're just going to take it and place it, and make sure you're hitting just the lower one step, because it's going to put it all the way behind your design if you're using your layering tools up here. So make sure that you're just doing the one step. So let's bring it back up one step. That's what this does. This is all the way up. This brings it up one step. This will bring it down one step, and this will bring it all the way down. Okay, I actually like where it's at. I kind of like to offset my do my word. So that looks really good. I like that. We're going to zoom in. Okay, and we're going to try to click both, and we are going to group. Okay, now those will be together, and you don't have to worry about your offset getting moved around. Alright, so now we are going to draw the little highlights on the word pre-K. Okay. Let's zoom out for a minute. See if I can remember where they actually are. Alright, we got one on the P and the R, the little dash, and the K. Okay, see if I can remember that. Alright. So what we're going to do is go up here to our Draw Freehand Lines tool. Okay. We need to have it on Create Spiral Path, I believe. No, actually, I think that's wrong. I think we're going to leave it on here. Sometimes I get confused with which ones I like the best, but leave it on Create Regular Bezier Path. And smoothing, I want to say I like it to be up to 90 for this, but we'll see. Inkscape's all about just playing around until you get it right. I mean, you're not going to break anything, so just play around with it. Shape, right here, you're going to change that to none. Alright, so let's see if we can get this going. I think that might be all right. It's gonna look crazy now because it's gonna keep whatever style, fill, and stroke you had before, but that's fine. You're fine. Just go up here, back to your fill and stroke. Okay, and we're gonna go to stroke paint, and we're gonna turn the stroke off. We don't need it. Go back to fill, and we're just gonna go down here and choose a white color. Okay, and now we're going to bring our opacity down. That's how we're going to get our little highlights that I had on the other design. And that seems about good. And I like that. So we can go back up here to the selector tool. Now you could copy this, you could duplicate it and move it around to where you wanted it. You can resize it. That seems to be the easiest way. Most of the time I just try to draw each one. But for today's tutorial, we'll just kind of just duplicate it. I might draw this one just to show you again. See, it's really easy. You just have to play around with it and see what works best for you. It can get a little crazy with the pens, you know. Just make sure to click back to your arrow to get off of it because you can start drawing all over the place. That seems to look good. I like that. I think we put it all in the right spots. Let's see. Yep, the P, the R, the dash, and the K. Okay. I think we might need to lower the opacity. It seems to be lower on the other one. Ooh. Blur on. Okay, that seems good. I think I like that. Alright, now we get to do the stars. And right here you have create stars and polygons. So you're going to click on that, and right up here I have it set to stars. And I have the corners 5. Have your spoke ratio to 0.41. And you're just going to pull out your little stars. Okay? And let's delete this one because we're going to fix this one to the way we want it, and then we'll just duplicate this one. So let's see, our opacity is down now because of making these, so we got to bring our opacity up. You can do it here or you can do it down here, whichever way. With Inkscape there's always you know, multiple ways of getting to certain tools, which is actually great. But you don't have to choose one. It's whichever one is easiest for you to remember. Alright, so we're bringing this up. And again, I'm going to use the eyedropper to pick colors from my design to make sure it's cohesive and all the colors go well. But first we're going to add a little stroke to this star. So we're going to go back up here, and if you don't have this box open, it's your fill and stroke. And you're going to go back to your, it's on fill right now, we're going to go to stroke paint, because right now it's off. So we have to turn it on, and we're going to hit flat color. Now it's going to have the same crazy stroke that we had before, so we just need to change it on stroke style. Go up here, this is kind of your basic stroke. You have it really bold right now. I don't want that for my star, so we're going to bring it down. I think we did about 0.324 on the other stars. So I like that. Okay, that's good. Now we're going to pick our color. We're going to go to the eyedropper. And let's pick a deeper purple. Okay, yeah, I like that. Okay, and we're going to zoom in because now we're going to draw some more highlights on your stars. Okay, again, you're going to go back up here to your freehand pencil tool, and I have it set on the Bezier path, smoothing 90. I'm just going to draw a little circle. Again, it's going to keep the last fill and stroke options you had picked before. So you're just going to have to change your fill again, turn off your stroke. Over here where it says no paint, that turns your stroke off. And we're going to bring that opacity down again, just giving it a highlight. Okay, the opacity, let's see what we changed it to. We got it down to about 63. That seems to be about good. Okay, so now we can duplicate all of this. You just right click, you can select all of it, hit duplicate. Looks like it doesn't do anything, but it does. Alright, so this star, let's click in, on your canvas over here to unselect the star, so you can just select this part. If you tried to pick a color when you had all of it selected, it's going to change the color of your highlight too. You don't want that. So we're just going to click the star, go back to your eyedropper, and let's pick another color. Let's do this orange color. Okay, I like that. I'm going to see what colors we had in the other one. I mean, it don't have to be exact, but it's kind of similar. We have pink and like yellow, the orange and blue. So let's kind of pick the general same colors. Alright, go back to our selector tool to get off of the paint dropper. And make sure we have both items selected so we can duplicate it. And remember, just hit shift and click on that other item to get both of them selected. We're going to hit duplicate. Okay, remember, click off, click just the star, go back to your eyedropper, and let's pick a pretty blue color. Yeah, like that. Alright, I think we had one more little star. Go back to your selector tool, select both of the items, duplicate, bring it up, click your, whoops, sorry, click off of your star, and then click back on it. Like I said, you don't want, I've got to move it because it got moved. You don't want to click all of it because it's going to change the color of this too, which is fine. You can change it back. It's not that big a deal. But it makes it easier if you don't go ahead and click off of it. Alright, let's see. There's a yellow in here. Let's get that. Oh, that might be a little too bright. Let's see if I can find one a little less bright. can light up. Okay, let's go with that. Alright, let's zoom out. We'll go back up to the selector tool. We're going to highlight all of it, and now we're going to group it, okay? We're going to group this star. Group this one. This one looks like the highlight might have got, oh no, it's fine. It looked like it moved, but it didn't. Okay, and we're going to group this. Alright, and basically we're just going to leave a couple big stars and make a couple smaller stars. Make sure you hold control again to keep your aspect ratios fine. Get a little smaller one there. And let's make this one smaller. Okay, and then we're just going to kind of move them around to make them different. We'll swap this one around. Let's see. Yeah, we'll just kind of leave it like that. Let's zoom out some to kind of see where we placed all the stars. Let's put this one here. Move it around. And then let's see, we had two smaller ones. We had a larger one down here. And when we had the two smaller ones around the K, might have to make it a little smaller again, but we had this one up here. Okay, let's make this one a little smaller. Make this one a little smaller. I kind of like this one that size, but let's see. Make this one bigger. Let's move it around. It's really just about playing with it and whatever you like, whatever looks good to you. Let's see. I think that looks good. Alright, there you go. And now let's just highlight all of it. Group it together, and there you go. You got cute little pre-K design, perfect for sublimation or whatever you would like it for, but super cute. Okay, make sure to leave a comment if y'all have any suggestions. Just leave it below. Let me know if there's any other video ideas you would like for me to make. And just please make sure to like and subscribe and click the little bell notification so you know if I put any new videos up. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.